Welcome, Thunder Lizards of the internet. It's an all-new Bullet Point Nation. The show's so strong we almost called it the Schwarzenegger Report, but he threatened to sue. I'm Michael Loftus, and across the continent is my good friend. What's your name, sir?
The last I checked, Judd Dunning.
There you go. Put that on your vaccine papers if you want to leave the state. We've got an incredible show for you tonight. Judd, on Bullet Point Nation, what's bullet point number one?
Jumping into this week's Bullet Points, Bullet Point Nation. Bullet point number one, Trump was right. Michigan did steal the vote, and the judge ruled on it. More to come.
Whoa! Bullet point number two.
Trump was, give me that. Who knows what the timing is? We're only 100 episodes in here, just whatever.
It's all brand new after 100.
I'm like a child in an empty vessel. Trump was also not wrong, as the Washington Post admits that it lied that Trump said, find the votes in Georgia. But you're only going to hear about that one in the shadow ban podcast called Bullet Points.
And now for bullet point number three.
Bullet point number three, Biden lowers the liability shields so gun makers can take all the direct lawsuit shots trying to destroy the American gun industry.
Really?
Really. Now, bullet point number four.
Number four, Dems start to eat their own and go after Biden, border bungling Biden's baby cages. How about that alliteration?
Boy, I think that's what I had to say when the cops pulled me over and thought I was drunk.
Bungling
Biden's border babies. Okay, we've got that. We've got a wild card. I don't know what it is because Judd picked it, so it's probably going to be about a library. We got all that. We've only got 3.5 minutes for each topic. We're going to get you to what you're not going to see anywhere else on the internet. But now, let's roll some sweet, sweet Bullet Point Nation intro graphics. Okay, you know the drill, Judd. I know the drill because we invented the frickin' drill. We got 4 topics. We got like 3.5 minutes per topic. We're gonna get to the meat of the matter. So let's just kick it off right now. I'm looking at my watch. Bullet point numero uno. What you got?
What you got? Like Cuomo says, what you got? I'm black on the inside. I mean, what? What a weird. Okay, I probably just got myself. But I'm just restating what just happened in the news. All right, yes. Don Lemon, listen in. After 3.1 million Michigan voters cast absentee ballots out of 7.7 million Michigan voters, there was a judge by the name of Christopher Murray. He was actually appointed by a Michigan Republican governor. And he said that the Secretary of State, a Democrat, Jocelyn Benslin's absentee ballot order as it relates to signature verification broke the law, vindicating Trump and his legal team's claims. And effectively, this put 700,000 votes back in Trump's 2020 election outcome. Now, what people don't realize, this was filed October 6th, man, and they ruled on it March 19th. So thanks for the speedy justice of America. But this is an amazing outcome. There's a number of stories where Trump's being proven correct, the American voters' concerns are being proven correct, but the Biden train just keeps storming on. We're not even seeing this in the press, and that's why it's on Bullet Points tonight, Michael Loftus.
Get ready for some serious legal Latin, like e pluribus screwus uis, or that shippius has sailed us. This is horrible. The judge found that this elections person, they went around the legislature. They went around. So it's not legal what happened. So you could make the strong case for just throw those votes out. Unfortunately, what they're going to say is that ship has sailed. This is going to affect future elections, but not this last one. And if it happened in Michigan, now you've got legal precedent for going after Pennsylvania, because that's what they did, Georgia, Arizona. Everybody decided to play real fast and loose with this signature verification, and they didn't go through the state legislation. It makes it illegal. You got to throw them all out. This This is not getting the attention it deserves, but that's why we love it on the old BPN. This is huge. This is really huge. And when everybody talks about, oh, all those lawsuits were thrown out, the Sidney Powell was thrown out. Watch Michigan. We just had a judge get on our side, and I'm going to throw this in. Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, he's countersuing. He's suing Dominion. Woo-hoo-hoo. So that's a good day.
Yeah, this is a baby Kraken from the Republican side, baby. There's going to be a lot of baby Krakens coming out, right? We didn't get the big Sidney Powell Kraken. Sidney, she was talking on the air the other day. She said, "Hey, they're suing me for $3.1 billion. That check's going to bounce." I mean, she is getting pummeled, man. But look, they love absentee stuff. They love absentee fathers because they can get the votes. They teach people how to be victims. They love absentee ballots because they can change the signatures. Anything that doesn't have somebody in person with an ID is perfect for the Democratic Party versus the GOP. And by the way, I like to rhyme because you use some of the best Latinus I've ever heard us tonight on the show.
I learned it all from Dr. Seuss. Am I still allowed to say that?
That's not on media.
To bullet point number 2.
Ooh, we're moving. All right, buddy.
Dose, as they say in the Latin world.
More Latin. This is amazing. Bullet point number 2, Michael Loftus. Trump was also not wrong, as the Washington Post admits that it lied, saying find the votes in Georgia, and he never said it. But you only hear about that here as well. What's so crazy is, how did this happen? In a folder, they had an open search policy came through, an order. They found the recording of the call in a deleted trash folder on a computer. And they're like, wait a minute. They said, well, we heard this and we'll testify that we heard it. And then they found that it wasn't on there at all. And matter of fact, he didn't say you're going to be an American hero for doing this. He said you're going to do something good for America. And then it's important that you find it. And then CNN, MSNBC, NBC, everybody jumps on this and says, oh, this definitely happened. So, I mean, this is, once again, another of the major, and this was the star piece of information used in the impeachment trials in front of the nation as evidence that he was trying to corrupt and obstruct the vote, Michael Loftus.
It's fitting that this was a Washington Post story because everybody knows their slogan now is democracy dies in just making shit up. And that's what they did. This is terrifying. Once again, I'm so glad we're talking about this story because, this is beyond wag the dog. This is beyond the tail wagging the dog. This is the tail wagging all the dogs. And this needs to be amplified because this is why, listen, Trump's been right about everything, and fake news is the enemy of the people. And when there's something this egregious, there has to be a lawsuit. You can't just make something up completely and then just have a correction in the paper a few months later. And what if we never would have found it? What if they never would have looked at that laptop and looked through the trash bin, on the hard drive? We never would have known. Yeah. What other stories are out there that were just completely made up? Oh, Russia?
Russia, yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is exactly the Ukrainian phone call that was blown out of proportion. I mean, look, man, truth doesn't really seem to. I thank you, Trump, for bringing pulling the veil on fake news. Now we know that what is true is actually true, might be true. If they said that it was true, if he said it for them, ask Joe Biden's hologram from the deep fake state now. I mean, now we're splitting realities. But if somebody states that, and you've got a great point, Section 230, it should have certain structures where, hey, if it happened on Hearst newspapers, it should have to run on every front page in a red box or some adjustment. So it's immediately headline news rather than a disclaimer. This is like 12th page, 6 font at the bottom of the page. I mean, they don't even have to correct it. They don't have to let you know. They just have to correct it.
Yeah.
This affected the election, though, as much as, in the impeachment trial, as much as Biden's laptop being thrown. This is a major piece of news. Why isn't this some of the biggest news out there?
Oh, I don't know. It's almost like there's media bias. I hope you're sitting down. All right, bullet point number 3.
Number 3. Thank you. So good peripheral vision from our producer.
Wow,
Nice.
sounds like
all right, bullet point
Chicago
number
in
3.
here.
Yeah, exactly. She's gun happy. Senator postponed. The Senate postpones Biden's Pentagon pick Colin Kahl, who called. Oh no. We skipped that one. That one didn't make the cut.
Colin got the old flusharooski.
There we go.
I mean, Biden,
forget that guy that said ethnic cleansing in the GOP and what a heel he is and how he's anti-Israel. We're just not going to talk about how horrible he is and how he needs therapy. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Bullet point number 3. Biden lowers the shield so gun makers can take all the direct lawsuit shots. So this is a big deal. I mean, what do? First thing you do in America is you neuter the military and you put a wall around the White House. So you disorient our relationship to guns and power. Next thing is you release these gun bills, right? And then you go after the industry that makes the guns. We're slowly eroding. Then we're going to go after mental health issues. This is a major issue because if you make guns unaffordable, that's what's going to happen. So they'll say, well, we can't get after gun control, so we'll go after the gun makers. Well, now bullets are unaffordable. Now guns are unaffordable. The reason America, it's a great fact in my book, the reason America has 328 million guns is not because we're the most violent, because we are the richest. It is a sign of prosperity and wealth of how many guns we have. So what they're going to do is they're going to go into the free market system, try to make them unaffordable by opening them up to huge lawsuits. And Jen Psaki said he's excited about going after this law. People don't understand what's at stake. Huge law. Michael Loftus.
Well, you know what, Judd? I owe you a big apology because I was supposed to say visual aid, visual aid, visual aid, and we're woefully behind. So you're going to be clicking through here. This is already a problem. People are already having a really hard time finding ammunition. And this is just like the kind of legal sidestepping. Oh, sure, you can have a gun. We're just not going to let you have any bullets. And oh, if you do have a gun, you have to have this giant insurance policy. At some point, Americans are going to have to draw a line in the sand. They told us 15 days to flatten the curve. We let them flatten the middle class for a year. You're fooling yourself if you don't think they're coming for the guns. And it keeps us safe as a nation. The reason Japan didn't invade in World War II is behind every blade of grass, there would be a gun. And it's keeping us safe right now from China thinking about stepping foot. This is really, really deeply disturbing. And everybody who just got their little $1,400 stimulus check, they better run to the gun store, get a gun, learn how to use it, and buy ammo. And call your congressman and tell them to keep their head on a swivel. We have to protect the Second Amendment and all of it.
I think Biden needs to practice a little foreplay and not try to take us into the Marxist bedroom so quickly because he's worried about premature discharge. Thank you very much. A little gun joke I wrote today. But he's just rushing after our rights. And they said today, it was actually interesting coverage, is the left knows there's a high probability they're going to alienate their base. They're going to alienate the moderate Democrats. They're totally alienating all of us Republicans. You can see Kevin McCarthy's press conferences every day. I mean, this is dire. We were talking about this earlier today, that we're talking about what we're going to do. There's not a lot we can do legislatively right now besides start to sue. And gun manufacturers don't kill people. People kill people. So that's the whole thing. And the left wants to take away individual freedom and they want to dismiss all of the risk of American society, and they want to give it to the government. So all of our negative rights, all the space of the Constitution, oh, there's an opening here as a vacuum. Democrats hate the vacuum. Oh, we better fill that with legislation. And we are seeing this is the beginning of government control, socialism, communism control. This is it. This is not a couple guys talking about it. It's a war on the vacuum of all of our negative liberties.
Judd, look what they've done so far, and they just got started. So now they're coming after the guns. They did the big stimulus bill, the horrible spending. Now they're going to do the big infrastructure bill. They're already talking about raising taxes on people. And when Joe Biden said, yeah, it's only going to be if you make $400,000, Jen Psaki just corrected that. Oh, it's actually going to be $200,000. Wow. And so it's going to keep coming down. And they're
broke in LA.
it's TikTok on the clock. They know they have 2 years, so they have to turn us into Venezuela before the next election. We gotta move. We gotta be Speedy Gonzalez on this. All right, bullet point numero 40.
Numero 4. Speaking of Speedy Gonzalez, I happen to have the appropriate slide for that. I love it. I love it. Biden, and it's of course it's a CG hologram because that's how our president rolls. So Democrats are pissed. They are angry. Rep. Ro Khanna, bullet point number 4. Rep. Ro Khanna said towards Biden that it is morally wrong letting unaccompanied children not have adequate food, places to shower, legal aid, that he has hyper-politicized the border. And he's now putting more kids at cages and risks than ever before. They're starting to bring in the National Guard through Texas. We're trying to find all these ways because by politicizing the border, we're not only opening ourselves open to terrorism, to fentanyl, to sex trafficking, to a dilution of the American way, to a problem with our budget. By the way, has anyone noticed we're 29 trillion in debt now or some number like that? I mean, we can't afford to dilute our workforce and just pay the tab for everybody else out there. And people are taking note, and Biden is under the gun on this. Michael Loftus.
Government has a couple things that they have to do, but first and foremost, they have to protect the citizens. This, I'm halfway joking, but is this an impeachable offense? By not addressing the crisis at the border, is that a huge dereliction of duty? We're living in a pandemic, Judd. We're living in a pandemic, and COVID is everywhere. We're not testing these people for COVID. You're exposed. The rest of the country's supposed to be in lockdown, but you're letting who knows who into the country with the possibility that they're spreading death. That's a dereliction of duty. It's it's national security. Hey, and who cares? Yeah, they're also busting people on terrorist watch lists. But I'm done talking about it. I'm ready to go full on. Let's get some militias in there. If you're living down in Texas and you're a rancher and you have these people coming across your property, boy, I'd be inviting every biker gang, every gun gang, everybody I could find to be like, hey, let's just camp out.
It's almost crazy. It's almost 25th Amendment crazy. But you know, the Democrats brought that up like 4 times, but toward Trump. But we're like, wait a minute, this lacks cognizance. I mean, really, I agree with you what you're saying. He's like risking the nation. You know, I think we need what do we need? Border landmines here after welcome to America, after you. I mean, we have to seriously take this. There was an article that just came out. It's heartbreaking, and I'll wrap up with this. But there are, women are being snagged. There has been, I hate to use these words, but there's been gang rape. There's been sex trafficking already in this short amount of time over the last few weeks. Women particularly are extremely vulnerable. This is immoral and unethical. And the children are getting even worse. And it's so funny. It's like that, if you remember, Trump won in the book by Joel Pollak. He won, and Trump won. He won on the immigration issue. That's how important it is to Americans. Moving on to promo time, Michael Loftus. We're going to get to it. So, Mike, good things are happening in the lockdown land of New York. Tell us what's going on.
Always amazing and exciting things at theloftusparty.com. Yes, there's the stand-up special on Fox Nation. That's all well and good. We can all go see that. But at theloftusparty.com, there's original pieces, there's podcasts, there's videos. I wrote an article today, Judd, that even you would have been delighted with. And you're like a professional writer. You've got a book and you're writing columns for Newsmax. What's going on with that?
Well, I rest on my laurels, and I got my first article rejected. They're like, CPAC's a couple weeks old. I'm like, but it's so good. And I got to drop it for a second. I was like, CPAC was not a white nationalist racist super spreader event, but a good time. That was basically the title. And they're like, oh, it's dated, man. I'm like, oh, I've been burned out from CPAC, bro. So they turned that one down. We just ran a new article that's running right now on HR1, just came out. Really happy to do that. Working with a great group, Sandy Pundits, doing a lot of radio. It's a real honor to be in front. And Judd Dunning has been invited to long play for an hour. I call it the happy hour of American Agenda, kind of their take on the 5 every Friday. 2 to 3, or in the National Report. I'm in the mornings tomorrow. You see me in the National Report. So it's been a blast getting more and more involved with there. And Michael and I have some things to tell you at a future date, which you'll have to watch future shows to talk about. But you'll be seeing a lot more of the dynamic duo here.
Stay tuned, Bullet Point Nation. Okay, the only thing that makes this better, the cherry on the top of the Bullet Point Nation Sunday is a sexy, edgy wild card. Judd, what are we talking about?
Well, I always feel so much pressure, but last week I'd have to say, you know, after we got China anal swabs from the great Michael Loftus, here we go. America's cartoon world takes another PC pounding as Captain America went gay today, sister. Though that's our new wild card. Look, man, I mean, this is crazy. At one point, I mean, look, I'm going to jump out at, hey, we're conservatives. We don't care what anyone does in the bedroom. It's none of our business. Even if you smoke your pot, if you're willing to go, I like the old days where you're willing to go to jail. It made the pot a little better. It's a little riskier. You know, we're not all over people's individual rights as liberty anymore. You know, the DOMA Act went through. There's domestic marriage. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of beauty in that. A lot of cabinet Republicans. Look, we just are individual liberty people. And on this issue, what's great about it is like, hey, man, it's cool. But it's like every icon that we kind of have to make a diverse population to make it a diverse population, instead of giving a real reason for it, it just kind of takes the fun out of the fantasy of the story-making world for me. It's like, okay, he's gay. Why? Like, what happened behind the scenes of World War II? Why did he go gay? Was it too long in the foxhole? You know, I don't know. It's just he's gay for no reason. I mean, Mr. Potato Head was transgender or something last week. So yet another fallen icon to diversity culture, Michael Loftus.
It's just such a blatant attempt to sell comic books. This is just, I remember when they killed Superman. Like, I was outraged at that. I'm like, you don't kill Superman. But I think DC sold so many comics off of that, and now you've got Marvel just doing whatever. What if it's just like a bad pitch meeting? What if Captain America was gay? I'm like, okay, well, sure, it makes a headline. But did you see the artwork? Like, Captain America's wearing overalls, and he's got, like, what? What is that all about? Like, get him a cool outfit. Get him a cool, and then I'm asking this: how does that affect Captain America? Will Captain America not save a straight person now? Is Captain America gonna sit back with his shield and go, you know what, save yourself? Because no, it doesn't change the character at all. He's still gonna fight the bad guys unless he falls madly in love with the Red Skull. Then I don't know what happens.
Look, I grew up on Captain America, and he better be a top. That's all I'm telling you. If he's gonna, he better be a top, and Russia better be the bottom. I grew up in the Cold War. You know, I mean, let's use his gayness for power, I guess. You know, I don't know. Maybe America needs to be more submissive. Maybe Captain America should be a bottom. Maybe it's time we stop. Maybe we should pull into a period of isolationism led by the gay bottom Captain America. But he's making out with Iron Man here, so, you know, who knows what's going to happen next. But it can't get worse than Star Wars. That's all I'll tell you. Just don't ruin the plot. You know, you're a writer, Michael. Just I want you to get in there, and you need to, you know, start a coalition. At least, you know, stay out of good story structure.
Well, my thing with it is a giant so what? So what? He's not going to fight Nazis now? He's like, no, Nazis, I'm not going to fight you. I'm gay. What? That's not going to happen. So maybe it makes his private life a little bit more interesting. Oh, he and Bucky had a fight about duvets. But, like, that's not why I'm reading Captain America. I want to see combat. I want to see fighting. Listen, the outfit needs help. The outfit needs help. He's wearing a scarf and a pair of overalls.
Yeah.
He needs an outfit. We got to talk about that uniform.
Which worked, that overall shot, right? What's it? Mapplethorpe, right? Mapplethorpe, the famous gay. I think that's the takeoff there. Who's a fantastic, visual artist. I mean, there was a moment where I saw that perfectly cut male in overalls. I'm like, well, maybe. You know, I mean, he was a good He was a good. That's how good Mapplethorpe was. And that was a toss-up to Mapplethorpe for sure. You know, he was like, hey, men look best without a shirt in overalls. Doesn't work in my house, but, you know, my wife likes Zara. Okay, I did all right on this one because we got a few laughs out of this one.
I guess so.
In the library.
And you really went down the rabbit hole on this one. You had Mapplethorpe exhibits.
It's a tight closet. It's a tight closet over here.
All right. You know what? I think it was a great show. I think we helped America. We helped the world as we do every week. That's all I got. I got to tap out. What about you, Judd? Anything left in the tank? Any more Mapplethorpe?
I'm tapping out on your tapping out. So let's tap out. Bring us home.
You guys, we love you. Let us know your thoughts. Leave a comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that bell. That way you'll know when we come out with a brand new show, which is weekly. We love you.
God bless you. God bless America. God bless television.